everyone, and welcome to another episode of Financial Freeway. My name is David Jowett. I'm the man rocking these Ray-Bans. And today, I need these Ray-Bans. It turned out to be a gorgeous day. We had crazy storms last night. Rocking the house, just being battered by the rain and the wind. And even this morning when I got to work, it was still dark out and the rain was still coming down pretty bad, and the winds, they've settled down a little bit, but man, it was a stormy night, Charlie Brown. But as you can see now, beautiful sunshiny day, making me happy because I am afflicted with SAD, seasonally affected disorder, which affects a lot of people living in Victoria because we don't get a lot of sun here. So when we get sun, oh, it makes me so happy. So I was thinking about what to talk about today, and there's a lot going on. Number one thing, something came up and with some people I know, and there was a lot of animosity. And real quick, if you don't like someone and you have to work with them, it's a good thing. You should be working to strengthen those muscles that make you a better person, that make you a better person to work with. Don't let your personal feelings, they do affect you, because feelings are feelings and we all get them, and that's what it is. But when you are working with people you don't like, with people that are aggressive or mean or for whatever reason, maybe they're even condescending, working with people that you don't like gives you a chance to actually exercise your relationship muscles. So if you're working with someone you don't like, you're allowed to not like them, but you have to work with them. And working with somebody is still a relationship. So how do I say this? If you're working with someone you don't like, which happens a lot, I mean, a lot of times you do not get to choose our coworkers. Number one, learn to work with them. And you can just simply be polite. There is absolutely no reason to be mean or, exclude them from things or whatever. What is wrong with this guy in front of me? Okay, listen, I'm going to talk to you guys who are driving. If you're driving on a road and there's nobody in front of you, don't apply the brakes. My God. Just coast. If you're going too fast, take your foot off the accelerator. That's all you got to do. You don't have to put the brakes on. Sweet McGillicuddy. Anyways, I think it's really important to learn to work with other people you don't like to learn to work with people you don't like, because in life you're always going to be surrounded by people you don't like. Think about family. I have a big family. I have lots of people in my family, and you know what? You don't gel with everyone. You know, there's lots of people in your family that maybe you got an aunt that is a little bit crotchety, or a mom, or even maybe a grandparent that just likes to say what they really feel without any filter, without saying, hey, maybe I should be a little bit kinder because this is someone in my family. But you still have to work with it, and you do. And you learn, if you create problems and aggressively attack someone the way you feel like you have a right to, what can end up happening is you just have something that happens and it prolongs the problem and it makes it worse. And finally, if you are in a situation where you're working with someone and you do react to something they've done, a lot of times the reaction is what gets the real problem happening. So take a breath, and I've said this before, being stoic, controlling your emotions pays dividends. It really does. Do not think that you can just act any way you feel because you feel it. You're upset, you didn't sleep well, your kid kept you up last night, you're on a diet, you got a sore throat, whatever the case is. Do not think that that gives you the right to just act any way you want, because a poor reaction is usually, I found this in my life, is usually comes with bigger consequences than the action itself. So a lot of times, just simply, if something happens to you at work, someone's being a bit, condescending or whatever the case is, let it go. We're all working. We're all on this planet together. We're all here for the journey. Why fight? I don't understand that myself. We're here for such a short amount of time. just try to make it work. Maybe it's a little bit hippy dippy, and I apologize if it is, but I really do believe that the world becomes a better place when we do actually work to get along. Why are you braking, man? Listen to me. Okay, so today I want to talk about choices. And I may have actually brought this up before in the past with regards to, just how to figure out what you want to do in life. But I used to own an optical store. It was the first real business I ever owned. I owned a few businesses before that, but like it was window cleaning. I don't really assign those to real because they didn't have an address. I think if you run a business out of your car, technically it is a real business, but if it has an address and you get mail delivered to it, it's kind of a little bit more of a real business. I think most people can agree with me on that. Well, this is my first real business, and I had employees. I had a lab where I ground lenses, and there's no reason to brake. There's no reason to brake, brother. Just keep moving forward. Sweet McGillicuddy, I swear to God. But one of the things I did was and then a sudden, oh my God, sudden right-hand turn. I shake my head. We used to sell. I used to sell glasses. It was an optical store. We boasted that we had 2,000 different frames to choose from, 2,000 different shapes for your face. And we were very proud of that. Like, look at all the options. There's going to be a pair of glasses for everyone in our store. And the funny thing is that, and I experienced this time and time again, people would come in, they would see the selection, and they would freeze. And they would spend, I'm not kidding you, no hyperbole, I've had some people spend weeks coming back into the store every day, trying on different glasses, trying to make the right selection. And what I found, and I think it was in my early 20s, I was 24. Yeah, I was 24 when I opened that store. And what I found was the people that were coming into the store to get glasses, they couldn't make a decision. And I realized, and I heard it all the time from the customers too, they would always be saying, back in my day, because I was pretty young, and a lot of the people who wear glasses are a little bit older, so they're in their 40s and 50s. Back in my day, we had two styles. We had horn rim or wire, and that was it. And so they had two options to choose from. A little hyperbole, I know there was more, but basically they had two. There was women's glasses and men's glasses, and that's it. And now, of course, you get designers involved, you get artists involved, and they start creating these new shapes and vibes and feels, and this is going to be more of an earthy one. You got one guy right now, he's making eyeglass frames out of recycled jeans. Mind-blowing. But the problem with that is, with so much choice, it actually doesn't free you, and you think it would. I mean, you would think logically you have more choices, you're free to make the right choice. But the problem is that with too much in the way of choices, what people tend to do is freeze up because they're afraid of making the wrong choice. And that I find really quite comical. People are afraid of making the wrong choice, so they don't make any choice at all. And that's where the danger comes in. Now, how does this affect you with investing or living a life of abundance? Well, a lot of people, especially younger people, we live in an age where you can do literally anything to make money. Literally. When I found out guys were making millions of dollars by opening toys that their parents bought them, I figured, you know what? The cat's out of the bag. Like, we're off the rails here. We can literally do anything. One woman was selling her farts. When you get to that, when you realize there's anything you can possibly do to make money, anything, it's almost too much to conceive. So what happens is, we tell our kids, go to school, get a job, become a professional, doctor, lawyer, accountant, butcher, baker, candlestick maker, and they end up realizing that no, there's so many options out there for jobs, they don't know what to do. And so what happens is they choose nothing because they're afraid to choose the wrong career path. So what I thought about it was like, that's a legitimate concern, and I understand like a lot of people don't want to make the wrong choice. But a couple things. Number one, and this is really important, you can't make the wrong choice. The only wrong choice to make is no choice at all, because it's just floating around, and when you're floating around, you're not going anywhere, and you stay exactly where you are. The longer you take to make a choice and find out what you want to be in life, or what you want to do in life, who you want to be, the more you sit in these doldrums where you don't grow, you don't save, you don't invest, you don't plan for your retirement, all that stuff, and it just makes things worse in the long run. The trick is to actually make a decision, and that's the thing. You've got to make a decision. It doesn't matter what that decision is. It really, really doesn't. What you got to do is stick to it. Try it. Make it work. And if it doesn't work for whatever reason, if you end up in a situation where, you know what, you don't like the view from the decision you made, then what you do is you change it. It's all you have to do. You don't have to. Just gonna see what's happening here. There's a cop up here. Yeah, he's still sitting still. I thought he was moving. You don't have to be stuck in that situation for your whole life. I know plenty of people that made a decision, a career choice, and ended up not enjoying their career choice, not liking it, and changing. And there's no reason, there's no rules that you say you can't change. You know, even after you become a professional, even after you get your degree in university, you can always change. You can always do something different. In fact, a lot of people do. A lot of people go to university or college, get their degree, and they don't pursue the job that's out there, you know, kind of sculpted for that particular certification or whatever the case may be. You change. You grow. And think about this, though. If you were to become, let's say you were to become an accountant, and you're working for a very large firm, and one day you become the manager, you're going to be managing and not being the accountant. Now you're the manager. So your job will change there. I mean, that's just simple growth in one industry. But what if you did a job like accountant and you realized, you know what, this doesn't fulfill me. This doesn't make me happy. Doesn't ignite joy in me. Well, then what you do, darn it, I made going home a different way, so I forgot to turn off here. I'll deal with it afterwards. But you just switch gears. You just change. You find something that does ignite joy in you, and you move on. It's, oh my Lord, there is a lot of traffic. What is going on here? Holy moly. I have never seen so much traffic on this road going in both directions in my life. I wonder what this is all about. Well, this is what we're doing for the next little while, it looks like. Should have taken the highway. Why did I take the back road? Anyways, the trick to navigating your way through all these choices is really quite simple. You have to sit down, make a list of the things that you like in life, whatever they are, and I mean whatever they are. No matter how weird or silly they may seem to you, there is probably a way to somehow make a living doing that particular thing or having that thing in your life. So sit down and make that list. Start, and that's the only thing this is the thing, is so many people, oh, I see, we're going into one single lane, that's why. Okay, fair enough. So many people don't seem to truly understand that you have to figure out what you want in life, whatever it may be. I knew a girl, she loved animals, she loved travel, and she loved Disney. And my counseling to her was, get a job on a Disney cruise line. There is I saw no better solution to her. Now here's the thing. On your way to get the certifications and the education and the experience that you need to be able to get that job, you may find something else that sparks joy in you. And you may do that instead. And that's fine. And that's what the journey about life is all about. It's unique and individual, but this is the important part. You have to do the work. You have to sit down and figure out what you want out of life. If you don't, you're going to be trapped. You're going to be, truly trapped by your own indecision. Sit down, do the work. Take a weekend, drink some tea, put on some classical music, and shut out the outside stimulation with, make sure the windows are closed. Don't do any doom scrolling, and just start going through and try to figure out what you want. That way, when choices do come up, you won't be frozen by them, because you'll say, is this going to take me closer towards my goal or further away? And it's that simple. So it really is. The trick is, you got to do the work. You got to actually take the time to sit down and figure out what you want out of life. Anyways, folks, thanks so much for watching. If you're watching me on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up. You know how much we love that. Subscribe. Come on, you got to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It does a world of good for me. If you haven't, make sure you check out financialfreeway23.ca. That's where all the really good stuff is. And as we always say, spread the gospel of what we're teaching here. Make sure that we teach the people that it is possible. Anything is possible. They can do anything they want for a living. That's crazy. It's so crazy when you think that. Because I remember when that wasn't a possibility, and now it is. So make sure you spread the word. Spread the good news. Spread the gospel, so that everyone understands they have an inalienable right to live a life of success, abundance, and happiness. Wherever you are, it's beautiful afternoon.